Hey YouTube, it's your girl Dr. J, and I thought I would come on because I looked at Homeschool Daddies, who's back. Yay, he's back posting videos. And he had showed some books that he had gotten for his third grader, and one was the Choose Your Own Adventure series. And so I wanted to come and show another kind of Choose Your Own Adventure book that I found that I had mentioned for him to check out, but I thought I'd do a video so that other people could be aware of it too. And it's really like the Choose Your Own Adventure series, but it's great for kids in upper elementary or those who have dyslexia or other kind of reading issues. And they are called the You Choose series, and they are phenomenal. I like them because they're very similar to the Choose Your Own Adventure series, where you go and you make choices and turn to this page or turn to that page. But the Choose Your Own Adventure books, they tend to be really long, and they have kind of a smaller font. So if you have kids like mine that have eye fatigue and eye tracking, eye teaming issues, it's kind of hard to read those books. But with these, they have very strong titles, but they have larger fonts, as you can see, and they have really good visuals. These are from the Interactive History series. I got the Harlem Renaissance, the Underground Railroad, Ellis Island, and the Civil Rights Movement. And they also have an interactive engineering adventure, and I got the Empire State Building and the Great Wall of China. Other books available in the engineering series is Building the Golden Gate Bridge and Building the Transcontinental Railroad. And again, it works the same way. In this book, it tells you it has 3-story paths, 53 choices, and 24 endings. And one of the things that I like is that the directions are very clear. Like at the bottom of the page, it says turn the page. Or when you have choices, like this one for the Great Wall of China, it says to escape, go to page 15. To stay, go to page 17. And so it's very clear, and then the page numbers are really clear, so you know where you are and where you need to go. And the other thing that I like is that when you make your choices, they're actually real historical pictures that let you know exactly where you are. So it's not just kind of relying on your imagination, but they actually put historical pictures inside. Like you can see this one is with the Civil Rights Movement. And so it is filled with pictures from that time, sprinkled through. So as you make your decisions, it really puts you inside of what would be happening to you and where you would be really during those times. And like for this one, it says, to keep the students out, turn to page 26. To stay out of trouble, turn to page 32. To escort the students, turn to page 34. And so if you chose to escort the students, it again gives you a real historical picture that shows you what your scenario would really look like in real life if you actually made that choice. And then once you reach the end of your adventure, it's very clear that you have reached the end, and it says to follow another path, turn to page 11. So let's you go back and choose something different. And then to read the conclusion, turn to page 101. So again, really clear directions. And then the conclusion is what actually happened with the Civil Rights Movement. Again, lots of good, real historical pictures that are put in there along with accurate information. There's a timeline that's really nice. Other paths to explore. So this is other things that you can do, that choices that people had outside of the book. Read more with book suggestions. Safe internet sources where you can go online and find information, but it's going to be safe for that upper elementary, lower middle school child. A glossary, and I really like this glossary because again, this is made with like dyslexics in mind, and so it has the word and also the pronunciation. So larger words like assassination, desegregation, different things that are kind of would be a little bit hard for kids to maybe pronounce. They're in there, and but these are really really great words to know. Like one of the words in the civil rights one is paddy wagon, which a child reading that, they probably wouldn't know what a paddy wagon was, but the glossary tells you exactly what it was. And then a really good, easy to follow bibliography, and then an index, and that's for all the books have that that kind of final chapter of what really happened. This one is from the Great Wall of China, timeline, other paths to explore, where you can go to read more, safe internet sites, a glossary, bibliography, index. So I wanted to share these in case people really like the Choose Your Own Adventure books, but they wanted something for maybe younger kids, or kind of a more gentle introduction, or if you wanted to do them for topics. I chose these books, one, because my kids are dyslexic, but also because of the topics, because sometimes the topics for younger kids, like that upper elementary, they're just fiction, and I've never really seen good elementary books on things like the civil rights movement or the Underground Railroad. Sometimes they're really very childish and babyish, but this one, your choices are real, and good things can happen to you or bad things can happen to you along the way. Just something that's very similar to reality, and also the heart of the Choose Your Own Adventure series, where you don't know what's going to happen. But so the topics are good. It's really good, solid information. And I told you guys what the other topics were for the engineering series. For the history series, the topics that you can choose are the child labor movement, labor reform movement, the civil rights movement, the Civil War, the Dust Bowl, the Great Depression, the Harlem Renaissance, the Oregon Trail, orphan trains, the Salem witch trials, the Titanic, the Wild Wild West, World War I, and World War II. And like I said, the ones I got are the Harlem Renaissance, Ellis Island, Civil Rights Movement, and Underground Railroad. So hope this helps. This is Dr. J, and I'm out. Bye-bye.